Hello everyone, so I'm back with another video on kinematics, but now we will start motion in a plane. So what we have previously done in motion in a straight line, in that we studied about distance, displacement, speed, velocity, equations of motion. And now what we are doing in this video, we will study about scalars and vectors, unit vector, and position and displacement vector. Now, the first thing, what are scalars and vectors? So scalars, the physical quantities which depend only on magnitude are called as scalars. It is specified completely by a number along with a proper unit. They can be combined by the rules of algebra. It means that scalars with same units can be added and subtracted like ordinary numbers. Scalars of same or different units can be multiplied and divided like ordinary numbers. Examples for scalars are distance, speed, temperature, work. Now, what are vectors? The physical quantities which depend both on magnitude and direction and obeys triangle or parallelogram law of vector addition. Now please understand, if a quantity is having both magnitude and direction, but if it is not following the law of vector addition, then it is not a vector. It is represented by a straight line with an arrowhead. The example here is given as A, and above that the vector sign is there, or you can just write a bold face, that is here A in bold. Now, what do you mean by the absolute value? It represents the magnitude of a vector, that is the numeral value. For example, if A is a vector, the magnitude of vector A is either you just write A, or in mod you write A vector. The examples of vectors are displacement, velocity, force, acceleration. Now let us study some important terms related with vectors. The first one is called as unit vector. What is a unit vector? A unit vector of a given vector is a vector of unit magnitude and has the same direction as that of the given vector. So if I have a vector A, the unit vector of A is represented by A cap, and it is equal to vector A divided by its magnitude. In Cartesian coordinates, I cap, j cap and k cap are the unit vectors along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. So vector A can be written as AXI, where AX is the magnitude component of the vector A along x-axis, plus AYJ plus AZK. Now if I want to find out the magnitude of this vector, it is equal to under root of I component square, that is AX square, plus J component square, that is AY square, plus K component square, that is AZ square. Now the unit vector of vector A, as we know, is equal to A vector divided by its magnitude. So this can be written as AXI plus AYJ plus AZK upon under root of AX square plus AY square plus AZ square. Let us understand this with the help of an example. So I have been given a vector A which is equal to 4I cap minus 3J cap plus K cap. Now the magnitude will be equal to under root of I component square, that is 4 square, plus J component square, that is minus 3 square, plus K component square, that is 1 square. And this gives the magnitude A is equals to under root of 26. So the unit vector of this vector A is equals to vector A divided by A, which is equal to 4I minus 3J plus K cap divided by under root of 26. This can also be written as 4 by under root 26 I cap minus 3 by under root 26 J cap plus 1 by under root of 26 K cap. Now if you want to find out the magnitude of this unit vector A, that will be equal to under root of 16 by 26 plus 9 by 26 plus 1 by 26, that is 1. Now let us study some more important terms related with vectors. Equal vectors. Two vectors are said to be equal if they have the same magnitude and same direction. So I have two vectors A and B. They have the same magnitude and they are in the same direction, so they can be considered as equal vectors. Negative vector. A negative vector of a given vector is a vector of same magnitude but acting in a direction opposite to that of the given vector. So if I have been given a vector A, then minus A is the negative vector of vector A. You can see the magnitude is same but the direction is opposite. Co-initial vectors. Vectors are said to be co-initial if they have the same starting point. As you can see, vector A and B are having the same starting point, so they are called as co-initial vectors. Collinear vectors. Vectors having equal or unequal magnitudes and acting along parallel straight lines are called as collinear vectors. You can see A and B are collinear, or you can have, see, the magnitude is different but the direction is same, so they are again collinear. Or you can have, see, the directions are opposite, the magnitude is also different but again they are collinear vectors. Null or zero vector. Vector having zero magnitude and arbitrary direction is called as a zero vector. Addition of two equal and opposite vectors gives zero vector. Now, as its magnitude is zero, its direction cannot be specified. What is the physical significance of zero vector? So if a body comes back to its initial position, the displacement is a null vector. The properties of null vector: vector plus null vector will give you the same vector. Null vector multiplied by any number will give you the null vector. Any vector multiplied by null vector will give you null vector. Example for null vector is position vector of a particle lying at origin, velocity vector of a stationary object. Now, what is position vector? Let P and Q be the position of the object at time t1 and t2 with respect to origin A. Let us join OP by a straight line. Okay, and we name this OP is equal to R is the position vector of the object at time t1. Here magnitude is equals to length of the vector OP. Yes, this one. Now the direction is the direction in which P lies from the, as seen from the origin. So this is the direction we are taking. Similarly, OQ is equal to R dash is the position vector of the object at time t2. Now the displacement vector, if the object moves from P to Q, the vector PQ represented by the blue line with the tail at P and head at Q is called as displacement vector corresponding to motion from point P at time t1 to point Q at time t2. Yes, the blinking blue one. Displacement vector is a straight line joining P to Q and is independent of the actual path taken by the object to move between the 2 points. Multiplication of vectors with real numbers. So let us multiply a vector with a real number n. So when n is multiplied with vector A, we get n times of vector A. So if I have vector A, it is multiplied by 2, so I get 2 times of the magnitude. The direction remains the same. Now if it is multiplied by minus of n, then it will be minus of n time. That means the direction changes, the magnitude doubles. With a scalar quantity, when a scalar quantity is multiplied with a vector, we take the magnitude as the product of the scalar and the vector and direction of the vector. For example, if a force of 100 Newton applied in west direction acts on a body for 10 seconds, then impulse is equals to force into time, that is 100 into 10, that is 1000 Newton second due west. Let us do a few examples to have a better understanding of the topics that we have studied till now. Question number 1. Read each statement below carefully and state with reasons if it is true or false. So case 1 is the magnitude of vector is always a scalar. It is true because magnitude is a number and it's a scalar. B part, each component of a vector is always a scalar, which is false because each component of a vector is also a vector. C part, the total path length is always equal to the magnitude of the displacement vector of a particle, which is again false because the total path length, that is distance, is only equal to the magnitude of displacement vector when a body travels in a straight line. Now let us do question number 2. If vector A is equal to 3 I cap plus 4 j cap and B is equal to 7 I cap plus 24 j cap, find a vector having the same magnitude as vector B and parallel to vector A. So if you want to find the answer for parallel to A, find unit vector of A and multiply it with the magnitude of B to get the answer. So vector A is 3 I cap plus 4 j cap. Its magnitude is A is equal to under root of 3 square plus 4 square, that is under root 25, which gives 5. Unit vector of A is A cap is equal to vector A divided by its magnitude, which is 3 I cap plus 4 j cap upon 5. For B vector, magnitude is under root of 7 square plus 24 square, that gives under root of 625, which gives 25. The required vector is magnitude of B into unit vector of A, that is 25 into 3 I cap plus 4 j cap divided by 5, that is 5 into 3 I cap plus 4 j cap, which gives 15 I plus 20 j cap. Now is the time for recapitulation. So what we have studied: what are scalars? The physical quantities which depend only on magnitude. What are vectors? Physical quantity which depend both on magnitude and direction and which follow triangle or parallelogram law of vector addition. Unit vector, it is a vector of unit magnitude and has the same direction as that of the given vector. A cap is equal to vector A divided by magnitude of A, where A is a vector and this is the magnitude. I, j and k are the unit vectors along x, y and z axis. We studied about position and displacement vector also. Now this is the time to do a few questions. So these 5 questions, do try them on your own. Pause the video, try the questions and then play the video again to check whether you have done the questions correctly or not. So now let us solve the assignment. Question number 1, state for each of the following physical quantities if it is a scalar or a vector. Now volume, mass and speed, they only depend on magnitude, so they are scalars. Acceleration depends on magnitude and direction both, so it's a vector. Density only depends on magnitude, so scalar. Same goes for number of moles. Velocity, angular frequency and displacement, they depend both on magnitude and direction, so they are vectors. Now angular velocity is neither a scalar nor a vector, but here the question was asking only scalar or vectors, so we will take this as a vector. Question number 2, pick out the 2 scalar quantities in the given list. So in this list we have force, angular momentum, work, current, linear momentum, electric current, average velocity, relative velocity. The only 2 scalar quantities are work and current. Now you may be confused that current, it has both magnitude and direction, then why is it scalar? So let me explain. So this is the wire containing a current I. Now the current splits into 2 parts, I1 and I2, such that I is equals to I1 plus I2. I can take another case. Here also the current got split up into 2 parts, I1 and I2. Can you see that I is equals to I1 plus I2 in this case also and in this case. So it is independent of the angle. It is not depending on the angle at which I1 and I2 are moving. It only depends on the magnitude. So current is a scalar quantity. Pick out the only vector quantity in the following list. We have temperature, pressure, power, total path length, energy, gravitational potential, coefficient of friction, charge. Now you will study about gravitational potential in the chapter of gravitation, about impulse in the chapter of force and laws of motion. And impulse is a vector quantity. Impulse is equals to force into time, or you can say change in momentum. Now momentum is a vector quantity, so impulse is also a vector quantity. Let us move to question number 4. State with reason whether the following algebraic operation with scalar and vector physical are meaningful. So first one, adding any to scalars, yes, it is meaningful only if they represent same physical quantity, otherwise it's not meaningful. Adding a scalar to a vector of the same dimension, no, this is not meaningful. Multiplying any vector by any scalar, yes, it is meaningful, because work is equal to force into distance, where force is a vector and distance is a scalar. Multiplying any two scalars, yes, it is meaningful. Two scalars can be multiplied whether they have same or different dimensions. Adding any two vectors, yes, only if they represent the same physical quantity, otherwise no. Adding a component of a vector of the same vector, yes, if both have the same dimensions. Let us do the last question. Read each statement below carefully and state with reasons and examples if it is true or false. First one, scalar quantity is conserved in a process. This is a false statement. Example or reason is energy is not conserved in inelastic collisions. About inelastic collisions, you will study in the unit work, energy and power. B part, scalar quantity can never take negative values. Again false, because temperature can have negative values. Third one, scalar quantity must be dimensionless. Again false, because distance is a scalar quantity and it has dimensions of length. Scalar quantity does not vary from one point to another in space. Again false, because gravitational potential energy being a scalar quantity, it varies from one point to another in space. Don't worry about gravitational potential energy, you will study in the unit gravitation. Last one, scalar quantity has the same value for observers with different orientations of axis. This is true. Now this was the first basic video on vectors. Do watch the next for better understanding. Thank you so much.